on, and before I comb my person, make sure there's no hair on here. I'm gonna spray in my leave-in. I think I'm lucky enough that her tangles are already out. That's when I'm gonna comb out her tangles. You all know the rules, what you've learned. You wanna start on the bottom and work your way up in case you do have tangles. Excellent, excellent. Check your comb, nothing in it. Put it back down. And that's when I'm gonna spray my styling spray. That's exactly how I want you guys to do it on your clients and how I want you to do it during your drill. What happens if you don't spray your styling spray at the beginning? What do you guys think will happen? What?
It'll get tangled.
Well, those things are all relevant, but what happens if you guys don't do it this order, where you spray your leave-in conditioner, comb the hair out, and then spray your styling spray after that? But if you don't, what happens?
It doesn't get distributed.
It doesn't distribute well. We're gonna start with a brush, and we're gonna start blow drying, so we need to have the heat protection in there, and you're gonna forget because we're gonna be nervous. I get it. Okay, so when I'm going to start removing the water, I'm gonna use my vent brush and my blow dryer. You guys, this is a huge deal for ergonomics and body protection. You wanna have your brush in your dominant hand and your blow dryer in your non-dominant hand. And I know that it feels weird, but try to start practicing now. I'm not gonna grade you down for it, but I'm gonna highly recommend it. And why is that? The brush, does anybody struggle with that? Everybody's good with it? Do you struggle with
I
it?
mean, I use both hands for a lot of stuff. So
Okay.
It's like not too much like harder to.
Okay, so you're kind of ambidextrous.
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay. All right, the reason being though is that your dominant hand is doing all the work when you're brushing through the hair. So you really want to, the blow dryer is just holding in this hand, that's all it's doing. You're not doing any action with it, but holding it the right way. Now, I'm gonna start my blow dry without the concentrator because I want the airflow to be more, and it doesn't have to be concentrated right now necessarily. If you have it on right now, you're not gonna get downgraded for it, it's up to you. But the bottom line is, don't forget to put your concentrator on when you start to round brush. That makes sense? Okay, so all I'm gonna do, this part, we are not sectioning for this part, it's exactly how it is. We're just gonna do, it's called leafing and flat wrapping to get through the hair dry. That technique, I'm not gonna grade too much. It's mostly how long do you do it? Do you get most of the moisture out? Because what that does is it makes sure that it's easier for you to round brush if you get most of the moisture out of the hair. So all you're gonna do is you're just gonna come in and do what you've learned. However you've learned it, this part I'm not particular about, just as long as you do it. Follow the flow of the hair and get the water out of the hair. That part's up to you guys. Stay on. What I do see is a lot of people, they come off of the hair a lot. Make sure you don't point the blow dryer directly at the root. That's not client safety. Just get the moisture out of the hair. It's gonna make your life easier when you blow dry. This is what I see you guys rush on a little bit when we do the drill. So just for an FYI. That's high. You guys tell me when you think I'm 75% done, okay? So that we're super clear about it. Anybody have any questions about the first parts? Say that again.
Is there a reason you have it on the low setting?
I don't know. It's not on low. That's why I said it's both on high. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I'm not familiar with this blow dryer, but I looked. It's high. I know. I'm all look at. I'm all guns going. This is low. I don't know why. If it doesn't behave when I'm round brushing, I'll get another blow dryer. You guys want to get used to doing stuff on high. Heat and tension when you're blow drying somebody with curly, frizzy hair like me are going to be the only ways to go. And it's not, I don't want you to burn people, but my hairstylist, when she blows my hair out, she burns me all the time. And we fight about it. It's not funny. Funny, not funny. Funny, not funny. Yeah, this might not fly too long. Sometimes I get it when you're up here and you're doing this up here. If you got to switch hands for a minute, I can relate because I don't want to stand directly in front of my person. So I'm not going to be upset about that at all. Say that again. I might, like, be ready. I don't know which one's better, but so leafing flat rack feed. Pick up your root and dry it up a little bit. It's going to be your best friend for especially when you guys are doing your drill. If it's too wet, it's going to take you forever. And I'm going to feel if the hair's wet. It's not much, huh? It's on high. Who has these blow dryers? Do you guys all have these? Oh man, tell me how it goes. Okay, what do you guys think? Am I getting closer? Tell me when. Did this answer your first question, Anna? What do you guys think? Am I getting closer? You think I'm ready? Tell me when. Gotta be able to hear you. Okay, this is what I'm looking for about this dry, about 75% dry. Come on. Yeah, come on. You're always welcome to. I see lots of dry pieces in here. Okay. Okay. This is not what I get, though.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
When you say
It
what
looked
you
a
get,
lot more wet on me.
I know, right? This is not what I get from you guys when we're doing our drill. Everybody
I
starts
don't
a lot.
remember this.
A lot of people. It starts.
Oh my
you guys-
gosh, she is so soft.
Oh,
You guys usually start a little bit sooner when your hair's super wet. Yeah, this is what I'm looking for. So you see some dry pieces in here and 70 to 75% wet. Dry.
You usually start using the other brush when it's
Okay, that's, you know, whatever you think, as long as you can make a difference. But it's pretty, she's pretty dry. All right, so now we're gonna talk about the sectioning that I'm looking for. Let me tell you guys this. A lot of the people that are gonna come here to get their hair blown out, I'm looking around the room. You guys are all young. Center parts work for you. OLD, no center parts. So we're gonna do a little bit of a side part today, and we're gonna work on giving volume. I call it the bridge up here, across the bridge. Okay, now, if your client insists on a center part, you're just gonna do the same thing that I'm gonna do today, only the front's gonna be different. Just remember that it's normally when you blow dry the hair, even whether you want a center part or a side part, when you blow dry this the way I'm gonna show you the top, it's gonna fall the right way anyway. But we're gonna start out with a center part because I know everybody knows how to blow dry with a part down the middle, but I wanna see you guys do something different. I wanna see a side part with volume. And sometimes it's actually no part. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna kind of create, and now this is all happening after you get the water out of your hair, just a little bit of a side part. I'm gonna comb the hair through a little bit. I'm not gonna grade you on that part. I just want you to come in into this front piece here, and you're just gonna take out that very little bang. It's not a lot, but where it matters. And I'm just gonna kind of either use a yoette to clip that off, or just set it aside like I twirled it a little bit. And her bang's a little long for a front bang. If she had a like a side swept bang, it would be a lot better in this case, but that's a little long, but that's okay. The next thing I want you to do is almost like a perm section here on the top. You're just gonna take a section out of the top. On the very top, I took a little bit from the side part because I don't even want a real part there. I'm not gonna work with it. You're gonna kind of just come back to the top of the crown, because this is gonna be the section that we're gonna have our volume. FYI, if you look on Canvas, because when I taught this the last time we were online, I have a picture of my sectioning. So if you don't see it from what I do, pictures of my sectioning are on your Canvas under the blow dry. Picture, setup, everything's there. So you guys, it's lucky to have that 742 from when I was at home, because I had to put everything on pictures and everything. Okay, so I'm gonna section off this top part. That's gonna be our volume. And then what I want you to do is come down the side section, split this in two, leave out the bottom piece, and section off the top piece. You're gonna go do the same thing on the other side. Leave out the bottom piece and section off the top piece. And if anybody wants, when I finish with my sectioning, if you want to come take a picture, you can, or you can look on Canvas. The pictures are there too, but it's up to you. And then I just want to see a horseshoe shape back here. So basically you're leaving out the whole hairline. This is your sectioning for when we start the round brushing. It just took me a few minutes. I'm not overthinking it or whatever. I want you guys to just do it like this. It's easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then if anybody want to take a picture, or you guys want to just look online, come take a picture if you want to, because this is what I'm looking for during your drill. And it will help you during clients when you don't know what the heck to do.
Whoa. Are you sure?
Thank you, Miss Brinson. You're a ninja. Thank you. Okay. All right, so we know we already have our styling product in there. So the first, I want you guys to think about now all the principles of hairstyling, okay? So, however wide your sections are, that's about the size of the brush that you want to use, or however much the bigger the brush, the more volume you're going to get, okay? So you kind of just want to do the principles like over direct, off base, all of that stuff. All that applies. Okay, so for the first one, it's not really going to matter that much. Like I said, okay, so this one would look better if she was cut shorter, but we're just going to go with it, and she's probably going to fall a little bit in the doll's face, but we're just going to pretend like it's perfect, and we're going to go, ooh, ah, okay? So the front one, yes, hopefully it's not this long when you're in the front, but you are going to be, your person's going to be in the chair, and you're going to turn them in the chair a little bit, and you're going to have them, they're going to face you a little bit, okay? So initially, what do we want to put on right now? Concentration. Oh, this one's going to fall right off. So I'm going to be in front of her, so I am going to put it on high heat, maybe not as high for the blow drying portion of it, but I could. So initially, listen to what your client says. Do they want it side swept? Do they like it down and in? Whatever. But we're just going to come in with our round brush. And I'm just going to start. You want to hit the roots. And you want to come down the cuticle. And the hair's curling on the brush. And we're going to come in. I want to hit the roots again. You don't want to go into the head. That is wrong. But I'm going to hit the roots going down the cuticle. That's okay. I'm going to do it without my concentrator. I want you guys to have your concentrators on. Okay, but my concentrator, let's try it. Okay. Thank you. That was quick. Thank you, Miss Benson. Okay, so now she probably is going to want it swept away after I started drying it a little bit. I'm going to move it away. And I'm just going to start to work it away. Just because it's in the front. I use the smaller one because my subsection's smaller. Bravo. Okay, so can you guys see when I was blowing it under what it was look like? And now I went away from her. I got this volume where it's away from her face. And I did do a little twirl here because it's too long. And otherwise it would fall right in her face. So we started with that front. And if you guys were blow drying my hair, I would be happy if it came like that. Just for the record. All right, so now this is dry. I'm going to come to the sides. Now, and this is exactly how I want you to do it when you're the order. Front, and you're going to do the sides. I want you to do the bottom piece on the side and then the top piece right after. The bottom piece, you do not need volume. So we're going to be off base for this. You need the heat. Okay. So come in with your round brush. Come into that root. Drying the hair around the brush. I don't care if you do this with your blow dryer. Some people are against it. I like it. I am not over directing this hair. I don't need volume on the side piece. Okay, this is what you're going to find, this is Jocelyn, and I don't think she's had much for cutting, so she's going to be not cooperating too well. We do not need volume here, so I'm just going to come out of it and leave her like that. Her ends are not cut, and they're being a turkey. Now watch the difference here when I come up to this piece. Oh, and let me talk about this real quick. The angle of your concentrator. Mine is going up and down. If you wear your if you put your concentrator like this, like a minus sign, that's gonna cause you to be at a weird angle when you're blow drying. So I want you to try to practice with it straight up and down like this, and then you come around to the top of the hair and you come down like this. Does that make sense? Can you guys see the difference if it's like this? Now what do I do? Okay, so practice with it up and down. All right, so let's watch the difference on the next one, and I'm gonna come in and I'm gonna shoot for some volume. I'm gonna come in. Now I'm gonna over direct my round brush here. Hit the root, bring the hair in, hit the root, Can you guys see that you're gonna get a little more volume when you over direct? Yes, no, thumbs up. You're gonna get the volume. If that happens to you guys during the drill, just take it off and we're gonna know that they're falling off because they're turkeys. We're gonna roll with it. And then if you don't want it to be like that high, you have a little bit of volume, just bring it down. And now you have the volume here, but it's not as poofed up. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, this is what I don't want to see you do. I don't want you guys to be going like this when you're doing your blow dry. That's what I see. Get out of there. Don't touch the hair. Knock it off. We're just going to manipulate the hair at the very end. You don't need to do all that. Now, I'm looking at her, and she looks frizzy to me. Is it her haircut? Is it her hair? Is it no haircut down here? Who knows? Is it the product I use? Maybe I'm not going to like that product for this hair. Who knows? But I'm not as satisfied with this down here. Up here looks great. That part's fine. I might use like a different product, or I might smooth at the end. Or maybe if I just come in, maybe a cold shot. Okay, so the cold shot helped a little bit. Her ends look a little smoother without having to change my product. Does that make sense to you guys? Can you see the difference? How she was looking, and then when I came in with the cold shot at the very end and it went under a little bit because her ends are frizzy, like they need to be cut. Yes, no? Okay, so then when you have completely finished this side, and again, we created volume. I brought it down a little bit, but the volume's there. And it's not going to go anywhere. So no matter of keeping touching it, moving it, playing with it, manipulating it is going to change that. Keep your hands out of there, because what do our hands have? Oil. So try to keep your hands out. Okay, come into the other side, do the same thing. We don't need to go over direct here. Concentrators are really good. You can just hold it. You can cool shot it if you want, because she's being a frizzy girl. That worked. I'll bring it down like that. That's great. Huh? Nice. Better, right? Come to your last piece on the side. Gosh darn this. All right, what do we want here? Because we're above the parietal ridge. Volume. So I'm going to over direct. Hit that root. Sometimes you'll see people do like this. I'm okay with that. If you feel like you're not getting the root, you can come under your dryer. That's okay. I'm all right with it. You can use your blow dryer or you can use your fingers. I like the blow dryer because I'm not putting my greasy old fingers on here. And if you don't want it to be, if you want it to be super volumized, come out of it right there. You can get all the volume that you want. If you don't want it, if you want the volume in there but you don't want it to look like that, just bring it down. Does that make sense to you guys? All right, if you do want to see a curl, it's super simple. You kind of already put the groundwork in there. This section's too wide, and that's like all I did when I was over here. I still like you to come in horizontally with your brush, but if you come in like this, it's literally usually just a matter of coming in, and it's how you come out of the brush, how you're going to curl the hair. Really, it's that simple. What I see a lot of people trying to do is take a vertical section and blow dry it vertically and try to curl. You can do that, but you got to learn how to do that. So try to come in horizontally and come out of your brush a certain way if you want to curl the hair. So come in, hit it, maybe cooler shot it, and you can come out of your brush and you can get a curl in the hair if you want. You got volume, you got a curl, you can have whatever you want. I prefer when we're starting to just kind of come down, smooth out, and come out of it.
When it comes to like the skill drill, do you care like if we do it?
As long as your finish looks smooth and styled appropriately, I don't care. But I do want to see, you know, the proper blow drying technique before. I don't want to just see you go right in and start to try to twirl. That's why I might go like this. I'm gonna stand behind you and I'm gonna go, she's going. But I don't care, really. I'm gonna bring her down. She's being a turkey. Get over there. All right, so now after you've done the both sides, we're just gonna come to the back. I'm gonna start on the bottom. You do not need volume back here. Make sure you dry the root. We're just gonna dry her down. Come down. If you don't want any curl whatsoever, tension, 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 tension. Did you guys see the difference? What I did right there? I didn't keep the hair on the brush. I didn't keep twirling it. I just came in, dried, and I just came down, and I got a straighter look than I did over here. Can you guys see the difference of that? Okay. So when you're gonna come in here, again, when you split your section, you don't want to take anything bigger than the round brush. If you want to put the blow dryer down, probably a smart idea. And then just come in. We don't need over directing or volume here. And if we don't want to put any curl in the hair, come down, come down. Say that again.
When the hair falls that's wet on the dry hair?
Yeah.
By the way?
It's minimal. Come feel it. It's barely.
Okay.
It's so, come feel it.
Oh, that's okay.
No, but I want you to, because that's a really great question. You're not wrong. So I want you to know it's so minimal feeling that it's not going to saturate the other hair.
This is after you do something.
Yeah. It's not gonna bother nothing. Good, great question. So notice if I don't want to get a lot of curl on the bottom, just come down, follow it. You're still getting some volume, you're smoothing out the hair. It's all great. I'm gonna come in. You guys, it's kind of like, I'm gonna say some of my silly sayings, but you catch more flies with honey, they say. And it's like you can get done faster with smaller sections rather than trying to rush it necessarily. And you can see how fast it's drying because we took most of the water out. Does that make sense to you guys? Now, getting closer to the top, if I want to start getting more volume, I can. Just make sure you dry those roots. It's all about the heat and the tension. Notice I'm not over directing here yet. I'm going to on this one. I'm gonna want more volume when I get up there. I'm kind of bringing the two sides together where I had my sectioning. You guys can see too, I have a really nice volume and it's super smooth up here, but down here her ends are yuck. So I'm probably gonna come back at the very end and cool shot them or put some shine. It's haircut stuff. Always blame the client, blame the doll. I could actually also, let's try a smaller brush for the sake of the ends. See what happens. I'm gonna work on volume up here a little bit. I'm above the crest line. My root is a little, make sure you're going down the cuticle even if you're going up. Let's cool shot her. Get some volume and some curl. So we got a nice little va-va boom there and some curl. Maybe a smaller brush. Her ends look better for the, I know, right? Some volume. So I grabbed a smaller brush because I didn't like the ends. That's going to give you volume. Make sure you're not pointing it at the root. Cool shot if you want. And remember, if you want to get the curl, you got to just come out of it like that. Her hair's a little frizzy. We're going to worry about that at the end. I'm not worried about that right now. Just did a little bit of a curl for you there. It's how you come out of the brush. That's it. Okay. So, you guys can see we've got our volume. We have smoothness. Her ends are interesting. But we're going to come, I call this the bridge. It's a made-up word. But it's like the area that we, your clients, want our volume. Even if we split this front and did it to the side, I still would want you to create a bridge because the hair will fall side to side anyway. And so we definitely want to take our subpartings the same as our brush. So this for me is probably gonna be 3 partings. And I'm gonna show you 2 ways to do it. I'm gonna take the bigger brush for the volume right now. When I'm gonna come in on this hair, I'm gonna over direct the hair forward because this is, I really want volume going forward. So I'm going past the line that I section the hair, taking my blow dryer, coming around to the front of it because I wanna hit that root. I gotta go up the cuticle and I want my volume here. I don't have my concentrator. Come to the back of it. Principles of hair, off base, over directed forward. And then if I just come out of that, you can see the volume that I'm gonna have on the top. Okay? Now, some people will say, I'm too short to be here and come around like this. So if that's how you feel, you can come into it a different way. Split your section. You can put your blow dryer down. I'm holding on to it for dear life. Split your section, stand on the side of your client, come in with your brush, and then now grab your blow dryer. So I was back here, blow dryer here. If you feel shorter and your clients are too tall and we're working on that top where we want our volume, come to the side and bring the brush forward. Can everybody see that? Yes? No? Okay. So 2 ways. Going up that cuticle. Make sure you're not going ever towards the root. I don't think my hairstylist got that memo, even though I was her teacher. When she was blow drying my hair. I'm so used to doing it this way for me. Definitely gets too sassy. And then your last piece. And then I think we're noticing that this girl's frizzy, so what should I do? Say it loud. Thank you. See if that helps. Oh, that helps. Look at that. Good job. Good job on the cool shots. Okay, so when you have felt like you have blown dried all the hair, I want you to come in on your client and on your doll. I want you to make sure that she's dry, because that's one of the things. We're too afraid to burn them, and I'm glad for that. I just want to make sure that your doll's all the way dry. Now, I want to work on, for me, she was definitely a little frizzy down here. So what are some of the things that you heard me do when I felt like she was too frizzy in some areas? What did I do? And what was one other thing that I did? Tried the smaller brush, see if that did something. So these are things I want you guys to do. Like, I have to do different options. You do different options. I'm giving you some options. Let's see. See if we can see a difference. I'm gonna cool shot this bottom. Behave, behave. Surprised even me. Okay. cool shot. I'm not taking out the volume that I created. I'm just trying to work on her frizz a little bit because she's a little sassy. All right, so the only one thing after that I'm gonna want you guys to do before you run your fingers through this to make sure everything's good. On the dolls, it doesn't really happen on people, but because it's a doll and we parted this front out, there's a little bit of a separation there. You can do one of two things. You can still just comb it aside and roll with it. I won't mark you down for that separation. Or you can just take your blow dryer and just maybe bring these guys together. I'm gonna come in with my other hand. Oh, that's awkward for me. And it's because she's a doll. What? Gosh darn. Okay, better. Okay. All right, so now I'm just gonna get a little bit of shine. Notice how I haven't stuck my fingers in my doll. Okay? Just a little bit of shine. And we're just gonna run our fingers through. I'm barely running my fingers through her, okay? We don't want to take out the work that we did. Probably I would want to do like one more. I'm going to do one more here. And then just like work on her frizz with your shine product. Running the shine through hair product through the ends at the very end. If you don't like that much volume, if the client doesn't want that much, bring it down. Try to bring these guys together. And then get out of it. Get away. Be done. Okay, so this is our round brush blow dry with volume. Did a few curls back here to give her some va-va-voom. She does have bad ends. They're not the best. But this is what I'm looking for from you guys. You can see the volume that she has up here. And you guys can, if you poofed it up, and there are some, I like mine big up here when I do it. I used to come in for you guys to blow dry my hair all the time. I don't get to now because I'm working for Miss Scott. But man, this is how I want my blow dry, okay? All right, are we ready? Yeah.
Do clients